Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aquarius in July 2019. What's going on, Aquarius? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Alright, it's like so well into July, I'm not going to give you like the, oh, I hope you had a happy 4th of July, although I just mentioned it. So, if you were celebrating the 4th of July earlier this month, Aquarius, I hope you had a good time. Yeah. Man, this year's just motoring on, man. It's going by so quick. But maybe not quick enough for some of us, huh? Anyway, Aquarius, apologies for missing the mid-Junes. If you were here looking for that upload, I didn't do any of the mid-messages. A girl had no juice in her battery. She was really tired. She had no focus. She had no connection. And so I just had to skip it. So apologies there. But I'm back now with the monthlies. Gone ahead and shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. We'll shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. Look in the description box for the timestamp if you want to jump ahead. And also down there, you will find the information you need. If you want to get a personal reading with me, simply email me. Let me know what reading you want. And within 24 to 72 hours, you will have that video uploaded privately to YouTube for only your eyes to see. But if you have any questions about how the readings will go, or if you want to clarify something, if it's not clear down in the description box, you can also email me at the same address and I will answer you as quickly as possible, okay? All right, let's get into it. Aquarius's outcome for July, please. I want to see Aquarius's outcome for July 2019. Please show me. 2? Really? Really? And the big thunderclap when I said that. So that's a synchronicity, so that's true. But I think this has only happened maybe once or twice before, and I don't know how I feel about 2 in the outcome. I mean, it's not terrible or anything like that. It's just like this Mercury retrograde, many of these readings have had 2 cards in one position. Yours is the only one that has come in the outcome. So consider yourself lucky? Special? I don't know. But we'll get to that later. Let's flip everything else over and see what's going on with you, Aquarius. Oh boy, here we go. A lot of repeating cards, so definitely in a retrograde, that's for sure. And how's that look on camera? Pretty good. Nice, and everybody's tight. Everybody's in frame. This works out. All right, let's see what's going on. Please show me where Aquarius is in July 2019. Please show me Aquarius in July 2019. Please show me. Okay, thank you. Wow, very good. We got there. All right, Aquarius, coming into July, you come in with the 9 of Pentacles. Very nice. Okay, so feeling nice, feeling bossed up, feeling very much in your element. Not in your element, but comfortable. You feel very comfortable. 9 of Pentacles, sometimes described as the single ladies card. And you could be a single lady or a single man. It doesn't matter. But this is more like straight out just feeling confident, feeling comfortable, feeling assured. And if it's not like about your emotional state or your own perspective and how you're viewing the world or viewing your place in the world, there is for a good portion of you just a comfortability with your money, a comfortability with your finances, feeling as if you have enough to take care of yourself, to keep yourself afloat, to get shit done when you want to get it done, etc., etc. So there's mobility here, I think, in terms of finances, in terms of, you know, anything to do with Pentacles. So your job, your career, certain projects or certain improvements that you're making in your health or towards your business or towards your home. Like you just have ample reach. You know, things are within your grasp and you have a firm handle on them. So again, that kind of reverts back to feeling comfortable and feeling, in some cases, like pretty accomplished. Like maybe some of you just wrapped up on a project, or you've just, you know, taken a considerable amount of money or a considerable check to the bank for a deposit. You know, so maybe some of you finally were paid for a very long and not hard fought, but just a long term investment on a project. So again, like maybe in your business sense, you've, like I said, completed a project. Maybe you were finally paid for your work, paid for your consultation, whatever it is. And so you walk into your bank or you walk into your credit union or whatever it is, and you're just like, here, I'm here to deposit this check. And they're like, oh, okay, 20 grand, 15 grand, $80,000. I don't know how much you just put in the bank. But, you know, as much as, I mean, she's like pulling these pentacles, these pentacle plates out of her chest. So much like a bank, like maybe you're, you know, going to your safety deposit box. Maybe, you know, you have to have all kinds of security when you make these types of transactions with your financial institution. There's just a lot of trust and steadiness or safeguarded energy around money or stability or just having a firm feeling about yourself. Like, as easily as she took that pentacle out of her dishwasher chest, body, whatever, you know, I just feel like there's this, you know, this is not done in a panic. She looks very calm, right? She doesn't look like she's pressed to be doing this, she's not needy. It's like no needs. Like I said before, whoa, I almost dropped that. Abundance, yeah? Super taken care of in your own right, Aquarius. I don't think that necessarily many of you, if not most of you are just not coming from a place of being a kept woman or a kept man. This is money and stability and abundance that you've created for yourself, that you've worked for on your own or in tandem with other people if you're in a business, but you just have put in the effort and now you reap the rewards and you feel good. You feel very stable. You feel very even keeled. Yeah, okay. Because I'm not even, again, I'll one day show you guys what I'm doing. I'm looking either in the reflection here of the camera or I'm looking off to the far wall. And I'm just like thinking about what I'm talking about in that moment. I put this card down. I haven't looked at the board, but I can tell you there's some bullshit around. So this is a self-contained energy, and I hope that was sort of coming across in what I was trying to explain to you. You feel good. You feel fine. Other people might not feel so fine. Other people might be a little wearisome about how you feel or wearisome about your position. But as yourself, Aquarius, I'm addressing you. You're the person who's come to this reading. You're good. I don't know about other people. I feel as though there's somebody in the peripheral who's just like not so good. Now, let's take a look. Okay, so absolutely. In the peripheral, exactly. On your line, exactly. Ay, Dios mío. Hear that thunder? Again, it happens. Okay, maybe the thunder's going to be playing a role tonight. So you're chilling, and on either side of you, there's a bit of chaos. Especially in the home, yeah. Yeah, we're not up there yet. Okay, thank you. So, next door, Five of Wands. So, a disruption of sorts, or a certain hiccup, or just certain things are in shambles, or certain things are not as smooth and copacetic as they could be. I mean, this deck is very domestically inclined in terms of its visuals, but with this card, I definitely, beyond the artwork, it just feels like trouble on the home front. So while you might have a lovely home, visually stunning, very comfortable, lovely decor, and everything is comfortable, but I'm feeling like in terms of people, because that's usually what we are talking about when we talk about the Five of Wands, is there's a little bit of an unsettled energy with the people that you live with, or the people that you share space with. If this isn't your home, but maybe it's your business, and it feels like a home because you all, you know, put in work to make this thing succeed, but there's internal struggle amongst people. Might be a little passive aggressive, you know, because she's the only person on the card and she's fighting off appliances. So it's not necessarily so obvious who is in the disagreement here or who's in the battle here. But her demeanor is pretty much, I don't want to be doing this, which is usually what the fives are about. It's energy that you don't want to engage with. It's energy that is, for the most part, easily surmountable, easily taken care of, easily defeated or triumphed over, or, you know, given a resolution or having a resolution applied to it. But I'm not sure. It's either you or someone close to you. They don't even know what the disturbance is about. They're not sure why things are so tense or why things are so staticky is how this is coming across. Staticky. Miscommunication, maybe. All right. And it's right next to your starting position. So it's close by. It's not in the forefront of your mind. It's not underneath you so it's not part of your foundation. It's not something that's keeping you kind of anchored. It's really off to the side. It's this thing that's, for the most part, secondary. So that's why I'm feeling like, you know, roommates, maybe, you know, you live with your children or they live with you, and it's just, you know, a little bit of tension because parents, especially parents and adult children living together, is always a little stressful. It's always like awkward, you know. It's like I'm an adult, but you're still my parent, and I am of legal drinking age, and I would like to go down to the bar and be left, you know. It's just like eggshells, sort of, is what I feel like with this energy, with this card. It's short-lived. Like I said, the fives are not super significant in terms of timing. You know, you can spend as much time there if you want to. So in order to diffuse the situation, you might have to be a little bit more proactive, or someone else has to be proactive. But ultimately, this is like a buzzing in the ear, like a fly buzzing past your ear, and it's like that, swatting it away. And the fly can come back, and, you know, like if you're like at a picnic or something like that, or you're anywhere, and just like there's a insect flying by your head like every few moments, it's very annoying, right? The solution in the real world to that is to kill the insect, or to leave the area, or to cover the food, so that if you're out at a barbecue or something like that and flies are all around, you cover the food and then they might dissipate a little bit. So there's something that someone needs to do in order to get rid of this very annoying, pestering energy. Like, in time, it would die out. But if you want to get over it sooner rather than later, just be proactive and get to the bottom of the issue, you know? But you're like so chilling over here, it's kind of like you're ignoring that. And you can do that because, like I said, I think eventually it'll die down, it'll go away, or it'll turn into something else. Maybe it'll lessen in its annoyance or whatever, but you're just chilling with the Nine of Pentacles. Like, that's kind of like not even a priority for you to really deal with that Five of Wands situation. And I'm just like, okay, you don't have to. But I mean, if the sound of flies or gnats buzzing around your head is ever too much, all you have to do is be a little proactive, and it'll go away much quicker than if you just waited it out. Okay? On the other side, is that what? Yes. Wait, let me make sure. Yes, of course. Thank you. They're like, yes, of course. And I'm like, it's not always this way. Guys, jeez. Anyway, on the other side, you have the Six of Wands in reverse. So, I'll show you this upright just so you can become used to it. But in reverse. Okay, so we have a slight ascension, or a slight ticking up with the 5 to the 6. But the 6 is in reverse. Now, traditionally, the Six of Wands talks about victory. It talks about accolades and applause and being rewarded and being recognized for good deeds and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure that being recognized for good deeds is a part of this, but being admired or given positive feedback is a little bit in here. you know, being told job well done is here, but it's in reverse. So someone is not doing that. Someone's not expressing that to you, or you're not expressing that to someone else. And, you know, I'm not sure that not being told you did a good job, or being admired for efforts and all that kind of stuff, I'm not sure that it has anything to do with how you feel, or whatever is making you feel like the Nine of Pentacles. I really still think that this 5 and this 6 are very home-based. And the 9 is, again, that 9 of Pentacles is more of a self-contained, self-focused energy. This just might be your outlook on life, or how you're, you know, sort of giving yourself like a mantra or a pep talk. But I feel it's like slightly more than that. It's like a comfortability or confidence. And maybe that's where I'm like feeling it's like super internal. And it's expressed outwardly, the 9 of Pentacles. Maybe if you've come into some money recently, maybe if you are splurging on yourself, buying yourself a new outfit, getting yourself a new pair of shoes, or a little bit of a makeover to celebrate something. That feeling that you feel is disconcerting to someone else or other people. It could be more than one person that you live with. And it's just like, these two are not mixing together. Well, these three. The 5 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and then how you're sitting in that 9 of Pentacles is not mixing. It's very like oil and water right now. It's very oil and water. You feel fine though. You're not upset. And if you are upset, you're keeping it under your hat. You're not sharing that part of it. I mean, you're bound to be able to tell that other people are uncomfortable. You're bound to be able to, you know, recognize that someone might be hating on you, someone might be criticizing you, someone might be worried about you, whatever. You can see it, but it's not really jarring your behavior, jarring your state of mind or your state of being. Other people around you are getting themselves worked up way more than you are. It's a general reading. It can go the other way, but I feel most Aquariuses, you're just like, I'm not even upset. I'm not even bothered by this. Or if I'm bothered, it's because you're bothering me. Like, you being bothered is upset. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you're sympathetic. Like, oh, I don't feel what you're feeling, but I feel bad that you're feeling that way. You know, or, oh man, it must suck to be so anxious about this situation. Or it must suck to be so, you know, annoyed by something. And I don't know what it is. You know, there's something tensions between you and the people that you cohabitate with, either at home or at the office. And there's just like this, you don't even care. Oh, I shouldn't say that. It's not that you don't care. It's more like you've got other things that are more pertinent to your life right now, Aquarius, than what other people are wrapped up in. So I don't know how. And maybe that's it, because I feel you feel your space, your time, your energy is separate. But for other people, they're wanting it to be more entwined, or vice versa. Again, it could be it's a general reading, so it can go the other way. But I feel like there's, not in a malicious way, not in a way of you don't care or that you want to be totally disconnected. You're just recognizing your individual self and saying to yourself, hey self, am I happy? Self, do I feel secure? Self, do I feel accomplished? Yes. And other people around you are like, well, what about this, Aquarius? And you're just like, what about it? I answered my own questions and I feel great. Well, what about this question? I still feel great. Like, someone around you wants not to bring you down, but they want you to see something the way they see it. And you're just like, I don't see it that way. Someone wants you to see the circumstances surrounding all of you, or the pair of you, or whatever it is. And you're just like, I don't see it that way. Do you have blinders on? Do you have rose-tinted glasses on? Maybe. We'll see as we progress through this reading. But how I feel is just like, you guys, or this person is trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, a mountain out of a molehill. It's just like, no. This is not as big of a deal as you think it is. Maybe that's your answer or response to this. That could be the caveat. That could be why I'm kind of stuck here, like trying to find quote unquote fault. Because, you know, just because you feel great, just because you, there we go. Okay, thank you. They're like, yep, that's it. Just because you feel great here doesn't mean for everybody it's working. And so that's where they want me to, because like I just said, blinders, rose tinted glasses. It does not take away from your experience. It does not take away from you feeling and behaving how you're behaving, Aquarius. But there could be a little bit of an ostriching here, a little bit of a burying your head in the sand for some of you. And you can do that. Again, the 5 is a relatively short-lived experience. 6 of Wands in reverse, all that energy can dissipate. So here's the thing. If you want to ignore, for those who know that there's something that you have to face, or that you might be having a little bit of a skewed perspective, for those that are aware, you could change your viewpoint a bit, bring your head up out the sand, and kind of face the music in some ways. But given how you feel in the moment, satisfied, contented, abundant, happy, you know, fulfilled, or at least you're having a good time, you've got money, you feel secure, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm on a high, basically, a high, quote unquote. Why would I want to come back down to deal with this bullshit? I'm going to remain where I am, feeling good about myself, acting in my own best interest, and you guys can just, you know, bitch and moan on your own, is kind of how this feels. So there's a slight caveat there, Aquarius. Be careful to not overdo it, yeah? So what's going on top? Okay. Yeah, okay, so you're having like a triangular reading, because these 3 to go together, and these 3 go together. So with you, you're feeling great. You're feeling fabulous. Magician. Excuse me. Magician, secondary major arcana for Gemini and Aquarius. Or not Aquarius, I'm sorry. Gemini and Virgo. I should have had more tea today. I'm a little fuzzy. Like just now, I just got a little fuzzy. Anyway, so you don't have to be dealing with a Gemini or a Virgo. Those are just the signs associated with this card anyway. Aquarius, you feel very much in control of yourself, in control of your next move, your destiny, your progress in life, and you're determined to make a go of it. You're determined to get something out of this next phase of your life that you're going into, this next experience that you're going into, this next level that you're ascending to, whatever. You are out here like a master painter or a master carpenter, and you're about to create something so damn beautiful and amazing and just incredible, and you will not be stopped. So the way I'm talking and the way I'm feeling with this card, you're airing a little bit into the egotistical side of the Magician. So here's the thing about the Magician, guys. For those who are maybe not as familiar with tarot, the Magician, like any of the cards in tarot, has a high vibration and a low vibration, high quality, low quality. The lower quality of the Magician is to be egotistical, to be super self-centered, and to basically get too full of himself. Okay? I'm saying he only because there's a man on the card. You could be a female that experienced this. No gender in tarot, right? So I like that you feel capable, because the Magician always feels capable when he's in the upright, always. Okay? Especially with what's around him. He's capable. Yeah? But I feel that you would be relying on your capability too much. Or you would be kind of, what's that called? aggrandizing. Thank you. I think that's the word. Aggrandizing your own abilities. Yes, you're capable, but like how I said, master painter, master carpenter. Like some of you might be using words like that, like I'm the best at this or I'm certified in that, but you're not really certified, or you're not really, you haven't been truly given that title, or you've not ever truly been described that way by other people or within your industry or within your circle of friends. So it's like you're really boosting up your own image to be slightly greater than it is. To put it in a different way, you're saying you have a 4.0 GPA, you really have a 3.8, a 3.75. It's like you're still an A student, you're still top of the class, but you're not 4.0. Does that make sense? And I'm not sure that that's going to damage you in the long run. I'm just trying to draw out what I feel might be a pattern, or might be something that becomes a behavior that you will later have to correct. Overcompensating. That's another way that we could think of it. Why tell someone you have a 4.0 when you have a 3.8? Maybe you're putting that on a resume for those who are recently out of college, or those who are, trying to get into a certain program that requires a high GPA. If the minimum GPA to be accepted into the program is 3.6, why don't you just say 3.8? That's the truth. Someone here is going just like a half a step or one or two steps too over the line, or past a certain limit, or past a point of, I don't want to say decency, but it's just like pushing it. And I'm like, why do you have to push it? You will still be accepted, or you will still be given your due, given your credit, if you didn't say that thing. If you didn't claim this was the truth, or if you didn't seek to impress people. Like some of you are trying to impress people, like a magician would, like an actual magician, like Penn and Teller, or, Houdini or something like that. Some of you are trying to make yourself, like spin an illusion, spin a story. Are you trying to impress people? Are you trying to, I feel it's more you're trying to get a reaction or get a result than necessarily impress. So the impress is more impress upon someone the image of Aquarius as this. Aquarius is that. So maybe going back to like that real life situation where I think some of you have put certain amount of money into the bank, or you've come into a certain amount of money, or you have a new job and now you earn this much, but you tell your friends you make 200 more than you actually make in your paycheck every 2 weeks. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know why you would do that, but there's some of you are in that lower vibration of the magician. Some of you, you're like middle of the road. You're like, you're not telling like a whole bunch of white lies or a whole bunch of fibs, but you're certainly not in the highest quality. And I hate to call you out, but as we move through the reading, I have to go with what they tell me. Some of you are not in that higher quality, which is you recognize all of your the tools at your disposal, the magician, right? Pentacles, wands, swords, cups, and all of the different ways that you can utilize these skills and these resources to your benefit, and do it honestly. Do it with full transparency and ownership, because there's power innately in knowing that you can create it by yourself without having to tell someone a lie, without having to feed someone a little bit of a white lie, just a little square inch, just a little niblet of a white lie. Like some of you think the white lie makes it a possibility, makes the conversation a success, makes the person shaking your hands and saying you're hired a success. Because I said 4.0 and not 3.8, that's why I got the job. Or that's why I was admitted to the program. That's why I got the scholarship. You still would have gotten it if you were honest. So there's this unnecessary... What was that sound? What was that sound? Did I just hear that by myself? Holy shit. Anyway, And we're still recording. Okay, so we're fine, but that was weird. I thought I heard something. I could be going a little crazy. It is raining. It is Mercury retrograde. So let's move on. But some of you, unnecessary little white lies. I don't think they're going to harm you in the long run, unless you think of it karmically. Some of you might have that to consider. But because, and here's the thing, it's like the foundation of it is this Five of Wands. So maybe you're giving little white lies to your roommates or your business partners or whoever is close to you in your domestic space. And you're just like telling them little fibs for no reason. To placate them maybe? To shut them up? To kind of avoid that little squabble? Because the Five of Wands is that. It's a disagreement. It's a squabble. It's people, airing their grievances. And then, once it's out, then we come to some resolution. It's not a full, knockdown, drag out fight. But you don't want to risk it going that far. So you feed them a lie in order to sort of sidestep something. But I'm letting you know, there's nothing to sidestep. If you just go in there, have the conversation, air your grievances, it'll work itself out. There's no reason to sidestep, but you're sidestepping. So the other thing that you're doing, okay, that makes sense, is the Page of Pentacles. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So some of you might be dealing with earth signs, surrounded by earth signs, but you do not have to be, or you have earth in your chart maybe. The bigger part of this is the page part. Now, I've said it because the pages have come out a few times this month, and I've said it before on my channel, I don't resonate with children. This could involve kids in some kind of way. Like maybe you're wanting to work with children, and so you lie about being a volunteer at your local Boys and Girls Club or your local YMCA, or you embellish your experience that you had there 2 summers ago volunteering for some summer camp program. Oh yeah, I was the co-director of blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, you weren't. But you put it on your resume. They're not thoroughly checking your references. They're not going to call up, the YMCA back in in Tennessee being like, did Aquarius actually do this 2 summers ago? Nobody's checking up on that shit. So you're just putting it down on the page. So that could be where this page thing comes in, where you have a very, superficial relationship with children or some superficial connection with kids. I'm not feeling that children are super close to you, Aquarius. They could be. Some of you could be parents. Or like I said, some of you might be living with your parents and you're their child, or, your child is living with you, or whatever it is. What I'm more getting is what I typically get with this page in particular in this deck. Because the Page of Pentacles is not normally this way. Look at this little rascal. Look at this little punk. If I'm honest, this little punk. Why are you pulling all these dishes down from that cabinet? Why are they going on the floor? Why are you about to make a mess? Now, that's not the typical energy of the Page of Pentacles, but here's where we get a little bit of how he is. Best intentions. The Page of Pentacles. Best intentions. I have a solid goal. I have a clear goal in my mind, and I'm going to pursue it the way that I want to pursue it. Now, this little guy's goal is to take these plates down from that cabinet, and he seems to be doing it in a very unsafe manner. But his goal is fulfilled. I'm doing what I want to do. But if I walked into a room, or I think if most people walked into a room and they saw a kid pulling dishes down from the cabinet in such a fashion, you'd freak out. You'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you crazy? That's the fine china, or that's grandma's dinnerware. What are you doing? But to him, he's like, I am going to start up a little, how kids play. So he's starting up his little, kitchen. I'm Gordon Ramsay. Get out of the kitchen, whatever he's playing at. So for you, since it's in your, oh my God, I'm about to drop your cards every 2 seconds. In your little triangle here, again, I think you feel fine. That could be a very subjective position to be in, Aquarius, that you feel fine. You feel comfortable with what you're doing. You feel abundant. You feel stable, etc., etc., etc. But the outward, because this is, if this is the root of you, the foundation, right? That Nine of Pentacles, the Magician and the Page of Pentacles, they sprout out of you. They are emitting from you. So that Page of Pentacles is looking way immature, despite good intentions, despite what he thinks is fine. To other people, that shit looks a mess. You look like you're being reckless. You look like you're being uninformed or acting as if you don't have a goddamn brain in your head. You know, somebody is looking at you this way. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. I'm just delivering the message. But it's a very divergent energy. You're cool. Somebody else is like, what the fuck is going on? You're cool. Somebody else is being spoon-fed a lie that I don't think is going to really come back to haunt you. But again, I did mention karma, and I do say this. I've said this in a couple of videos, and I'll say it here. I'm not like heavy on karma, same way I'm not heavy on soulmate or twin flame, because I feel those are super subjective words. And as far as my journey, I'm not going to project that into my general readings because we all have different interpretations. If we work one-on-one, maybe I'll use those words a little more freely, but I like to keep those words in check because I don't know how you interpret it. But I've said it twice now, and I've explained it. So that means somebody out here, you have karmic concerns about what you're doing now. And if you don't, you should consider it. I don't know what that means to you. Some of you think karma is like an immediate payback from the universe, like within, 2 weeks from doing this quote-unquote bad thing, you'll be punished. If that's what you believe, go with it. But I'm not here to tell you that's the truth, because I don't believe that's what karma is anyway. So, but I've mentioned it, so that's for somebody out there. Now, truly though, in combination, the Magician, Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles, I really don't think in the long run or in the grand scheme of things, what you're doing, how you're behaving, what you believe is detrimental to you, Aquarius. I really don't. I think it might just be ruffling the feathers of other people around you, and they will have to deal with it as best as they can. If you live closely with these people, if you work closely with these people, if you value these people, here we go, that's a key right there. If you value these people, you should maybe consider doing things slightly differently. If you don't care, you're just putting out resumes because you want to get hired, you want to be given a scholarship, whatever you're applying for, and you're fudging the numbers. Oh yeah, I'm responsible for, 25,000 worth of revenue into the company. It was actually 22,000, but you round up to 25. You still get the job. They will never know. No big deal. Fine. But if you value the people that you're giving these white lies to, or that you're kind of fudging information with, you should really reconsider continuing to do that. Because they're people. They're close to you, they're friends, they're families, they're lovers, whoever. You have a relationship with these people of whatever type. And so for some of them, it's going to be a matter of trust. You've broken my trust. You played games. You lied when you didn't have to. If you told me this from the beginning, I wouldn't have even cared. But you told this one lie that led to another here, and now it's just like, you did all of that for what? Like, somebody's going to be like, why did you do that? With that Page of Pentacles, why did you do it that way? From your perspective, well, I just wanted this and that and this and the other, and I got the result I wanted, and you're fine, I'm fine, everybody's fine, so what's the big deal? But they're like, but that was just a silly way to go about it, Aquarius. You did not have to do all of that. If you want to play Gordon Ramsay with the dishes, I'll help you get the plates off of the shelf. You do not have to reach your little 3-foot high ass up on a chair and get on the top shelf and risk like pulling the china set down on yourself, risk dropping the china or dropping the plates on the floor and smashing them. I could have helped you. So there's that element. You want to do it your way, and you do it your way, and it's fine. But in the aftermath, someone's just like, that was pointless. I could have helped you. Or if you just told me what you were doing, I wouldn't have cared. But without an explanation or without a clear understanding of what you did, I just sat here and I was just bewildered. It made no sense. So, okay. Now, the triangle of the other people around you could be one person or several people. I'm going to assume it's probably like 2 to 3 people. Yeah, but it could be one person. They've got the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Wands in reverse. They also have the Chariot. Major Arcana card for Cancer, so some of you might be dealing with a Cancer, but again, you don't have to. It's a general reading. Now, Chariot, for obvious reasons, often talks about travel or movement or progression, right? And I think, especially if we're talking about family, business, roommates, everybody wants the same thing in those situations, usually, right? If we all live in this house together, we all want Wi-Fi, we all want the electricity to stay on, we all want clean water and food in the fridge, we all want the same damn things, right? If we're in a business, we want revenue, we want clients, we want to be successful, we want to have good write-ups in local newspapers. If we get national coverage, that would be amazing. We all share the same goal with the chariot, right? Typically. In these domestic situations or in these business situations. Here's the thing about the chariot, though. Especially in this deck, and I forget who I mentioned this for. It was in someone's earlier reading a day or two ago or whatever. Unlike the other two depictions of the chariot, there's two people on this card, not one. In the other traditional depictions, there's one person, two horses, sphinxes, oxen, bulls, whatever. One car, two women. Who's driving? So there's this idea, or maybe there's a little bit, not a struggle, because that's the thing. Pick it right back up. Thank you. There's not there's not an obvious struggle here. These two women look pretty happy with their little grocery shopping trip completed. They seem like good friends. They seem like best buds. But the struggle is there because literally only one of them can drive that car. Only one of them can be in control of that vehicle. So between the two different sides, whether it's 2 people or 15 people in a business, I don't care. There's 2 sides that have to agree on what route to take to go forward. Have you usurped someone's decision-making ability or their position in the driver's seat, Aquarius? I would not put it past you to do it. And it's not an accusation. That's not to say that you're a nasty, deceiving person. That's not at all the connotation. It's more of you're an air sign, you're a masculine quality, you're no nonsense. If somebody's, beating around the bush, Aquarius is like, rolls up their sleeves, let me just go in here and get it done. Or more like Aquarius, I've got a good idea. Their idea is pretty good, but my idea is slightly better. I need my idea to be taken up and adhered to, or my method has to be the method that we go with. So I'm just gonna kind of ignore what they said, or maybe you had information given to you that needed to be passed out to the group, and you're like, I'm not gonna tell everybody about that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. So there's like a little bit of a sneaky behavior here. A little bit. And maybe that's what the fight is about here, or the disagreement is about here in the 5 of Wands. We all want the same things. Aquarius, you're on board, right? And you're just sitting there like, yeah, I want the same things too. Sure. And they're like, cool, we all want the same things. So they leave the meeting, house meeting, business meeting, whatever. Maybe you're writing in a group text with all your roommates or something like that. And then there's a side conversation that you have without one person. And you're like, listen, never mind what Sally said. Here's what we're going to do, guys. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then Sally's thinking we're going with plan A. And technically, we're with plan A1 or plan A 2.0. Aquarius's edited version of that plan. And that's why they're upset. That's why they're not looking at you, seeing you looking like, oh, I did a good thing and I accomplished this, and oh, we're all successful, or I'm feeling good and I'm feeling confident. They're looking at you with a side eye like, what the F did you do? And you're like, but we got to where we wanted to be with the chariot. 2 sides of this issue come together and agree that one person drives the car. Sally thought she was driving the car, and then she turns around. Maybe she dropped a bag of fruit on the ground from her grocery. She goes and picks it up. She turns around, and you're in the driver's seat. Honk, honk. Come on, Sally, let's go. We said I was driving. Yeah, I know, but come on. And you're just like, it's no big deal. We both know we're going to that destination, but Sally's like, but I wanted to drive. And Aquarius is like, well, I'm in the driver's seat, so it's okay, so let's go. So it's just like, You feel fine. Other people are like, no, 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 no. Not so fast, Aquarius. Come back here. Come here. Come here. What is going on? Why are you acting this way? And you're like, don't worry about it. We're going to the same destination. We're getting the same this. Everything's working out the way we all wanted it to. But your methodology, your approach to it, questionable to somebody. Very interesting. Now, your outcome for July, and okay, now that makes sense. I didn't look at it before, but I pick it up and it immediately makes sense. 4 cups, 4 wands. Listen, what's going on in your home or the place that you spend a lot of time with, where you have a lot of connections and foundational energy? What is going on? That's great. Every time the thunder has struck, it comes after I've said something interesting, I think. So go back and check the thunder. Anyway, 4 cups and 4 wands. So in your domestic space, or just someplace where you have a great foundation, like I've said a lot, business or home is really how I'm feeling. It could be school, since I did talk about GPAs earlier, but I'm feeling this is more, wherever you call home. There's a discrepancy about the way the home is right now. Maybe how it looks. Maybe this is you and your husband, or you and your wife, or whoever, talking about renovations, talking about decorating. I did say that here. Like, you feel your house looks amazing. I think I said that in the beginning with that 9 of Pentacles. Like a nice decorated home. Somebody's like, no, it's not. So somebody's like, I want to change this in the house. And you're like, sure, let's do it. And you move like one object, like that's a piece of decoration, and your husband or wife is like, I hate that thing is there. Like, I think it would look much better if we moved it. And you're like, I agree. Let's move it. And your spouse is like, well, I thought we were going to move that. It is moved. What? I moved it 2 centimeters down. And they look at you like you've got 15 heads. Are you crazy? I don't even want this thing in the house. Why is it here? Can it go over there? Can it go in this other room? I don't want to see this thing. And you're like, it's fine. You said move, it's moved. We're done. Like, it's that technicality that you're going off of. Technically, you asked for this to be like that. I did it. It's over. We're finished. The situation is done. So somebody's like, no, that's not correct. And somebody else is kicked back saying, no, it is fun. Like, look how astonished she looks. Like, oh my God. Like, so shocked. So, like, off-put by whatever she's witnessing, whatever she's being offered, whatever she's interacting with. And this person over here is just like, la-di-da-di-da. Everything is cool. So, again, this divergent energy. And again, just in general, wands, or the 4 wands, deals with foundation, home, stability, structures, things being copacetic and being very, very, like, unified. And here we have something that is not unified with the 4 of Cups. We have something that is just, like, off-putting and is very unwelcomed. Like, no, that's not what I want at all. I don't sense, like, breakups. I don't sense people, like, running out of the house with, like, a packed duffel bag. Like, I've had enough. I can't stand when you display that ugly painting in the middle of the room. I can't live like that. I'm not sensing, like, that type of a drastic reaction, but there is a divergent energy here where you feel this, they feel that. There's a common goal to have a nice home situation, to get to a certain destination, to be involved in this particular business, to pick up these clients, or to partner with this other business if we're talking about your career, right? But the way you want to do it is just so weird or uninvited, unappreciated, maybe, to someone else. And you're like, it's the same goal. What's the big deal here? You're, like, unable to see what the big problem is. Mountains out of molehills. And that might be true. As your tarot reader, as your messenger, I can't really see who's quote-unquote right in this situation, because I don't necessarily feel there's a right or a wrong here. These are just the facts. These are the facts, ma'am. Only the facts. Overall energy for July, this has come out a lot too. And you got a 5 right behind a 5, so a little bit of a synchronicity here. 4, 4, 5, 5, maybe. I don't know if that means something to you guys, but anyway, overall energy, this person has been here a lot, or this energy has been here a lot, rather. So crying over spilled milk. That is definitely what's going on here. And like I've said in previous interpretations with this card, I'm not advising you to go watch my other videos, but I've said this quite a lot this month, is here's this woman drenched, doused with these cocktails, and she's standing there wringing out her hair, letting her dress drip out, instead of taking her ass home and getting in the shower and calling it a night. Like, I don't know about you, but if I attend a party and I end up soaking wet and I don't intend to be that way because someone spilled drinks on me or somebody pushed me in a pool. Don't ever push me in a pool, by the way. Not like any of you would ever do that. But when I see that stuff on movies and TVs, and I've seen that stuff in real life, people in plain clothes, party clothes, getting pushed into a pool, I would rage out. Anyway, but if that was me, I'd be like, that's it. I'm done. I'm going home. I'll be mad, I'll be sad, I'll be whatever about it, but there's no point in me sticking around here looking like this, feeling like this. I should leave the situation. So that's what this is. Somebody needs to leave the situation, or leave their feelings, their sour feelings, their butthurt feelings, their disappointed feelings in the past. Move on. Crying over spilled milk. Most likely, this is the person you're dealing with or the people you're dealing with, because again, I feel for most of you Aquariuses, you're just like, I'm fine. Everything is a-okay. Some of you might be wallowing in this energy a little bit too. Some of you might share this with your roommate. You know, some of you, you catch wind that they're upset, that you told white lies and that you fibbed about certain things to get a result, and now they're pissed off at you. So now you're pissed off at them. So now you're both crying over spilled milk, when what's the reality? Did we all get what we needed to do? How can we move past this? Do you need to apologize, Aquarius? Do they need to apologize to you? Sometimes it's that freaking simple. Apologize. Admit that you were kind of a dick. And let's move on from this bullshit. Okay? Aquarius, that is your reading for July. The rain's picking up. I like the sound of it. It's kind of interesting. The music stopped, I don't know how long ago, but it was a nice little trade-off, because I always want to hear something else in the background besides my own voice, because it just helps me to keep doing the damn reading. Anyway, that's your reading for July. If you liked it, Aquarius, there is a like button down below. Go ahead and hit that for me. You can also leave comments down below letting me know how this reading resonated in your life. I would love to read that. Please also share the video across your social media platforms. Let other people know that you're watching my stuff. I would appreciate that. And the big sign of support is to become a subscriber. If you're not subscribed already, you watched my channel a few times, or maybe this is your first time here, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. I've seen a bunch of growth over the past few months. It's been incredible. I want to see that keep going. The more I see that, the more I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And I will be kind of obliged, but also excited to give you guys stuff, to give you guys more content, to interact with you guys more. So the more people that are around, show themselves, say hi, say bye, whatever you're saying, you know, it's just going to be a greater, more expansive experience, okay? The more that this channel grows and the more the community grows, I'm excited. Are you excited? Anyway, Aquarius, I will be back in I'd say about 2 weeks with the mid-July messages. I can't talk now. With the mid-July messages for you, and then after that, of course, August. And at some point, I will do a random, I promise. I just don't know when the energy and the mood is going to hit me, but you have that to look forward to, okay? All right, Aquarius, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye.